Survive and advance, baby. Bring on Duke.
You are Locked On Baylor, your daily podcast on the Baylor Bears. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, Bears fans. Welcome into Baylor basketball postgame on Locked On Baylor. I'm your host, Cam Stewart of ESPN Central Texas and the Cam Show on YouTube. It's NCAA tournament time. The Bears advance to the second round yet again. 75-72. They score the upset over Mississippi State. Had it the whole way. You know what? Had it the whole way. Okay, there was no nail-biting moments in the final 2 minutes. There were no absolute hose job calls from the referees that took points off the board for Baylor. None of that. They had it all the way, kept Mississippi State at arm's length, got to rest some guys. Of course I'm kidding. It had to become as nerve-wracking as it became. They had to white-knuckle it down the stretch. Baylor was in control for a ton of this game. In fact, the first thing I did when I went to go to the statcast from this game was to see how long they had the lead in this one. But guess what? Guess what, guys? The only damper on this, and you guys probably won't care, but the statcast still has it at Baylor 37, Mississippi State 32. ESPN has it as Baylor winning 45-39. So there's no way to get accurate, in-depth stats on this game. I apologize. I was looking for that. I was looking for offensive rebounds versus second chance points. Can't get any of that. Barely can scrape a box score from an NCAA tournament game in 2025. But all that matters is that Baylor's moving on. It was not a terrific VJ Edgecombe day. It was a terrific Rob Wright day. Norchad Omier, once again, doing all the dirty work for you. Langston Love being exactly what we want from Langston Love, man. So Wright goes for 19. Love goes for 15. Those guys were just dicing up Mississippi State's defense in the post. We know that when Rob is on, there maybe isn't a better finisher at the guard position in this conference. And Langston Love kind of falls under that same purview there. They combined to go 15 of 27 from the floor. They combined for 34 points. That's a huge difference. VJ does end up getting 16 points, by the way. I should mention that. I think he had maybe 2 in the first half, so he does come away with that. Norchad, the most modest 12-9 you've ever seen. And he shot only 3 for 11. But he was doing dirty work all game long. And it's someone who, again, I think we appreciate him now. But years from now, you're going to say, man, I really wish Norchad played for like a championship level team. Like he just did all the little things, all the dirty work, gets 2 fouls in the space of about 40 seconds so that he has 3 remaining for the last, or 3 fouls with 18 minutes remaining. And he ends the game with 3 fouls. Okay. It wasn't the best officiated game I've ever seen. It screwed Baylor at the end of it. I mean, they literally took a point off the board for Baylor that could well have been the difference in the game. It absolutely could have changed the way Mississippi State handled the last possession, where they don't even give Hubbard the ball, which was interesting. He still gets his points. He gets 26. But just, I mean, outside, I think he had a transition 3 in the second half, but other than that, he wasn't hurting Baylor, especially in the second half. Like, Scott Drew made the adjustment there. I think the kid had 14 or 16 in the first half, and Baylor made the adjustment. And, you know, he still, again, he gets his 26, but he doesn't kill them. He doesn't. So, look, Baylor, of course, had to make it interesting. They were up double digits, I mean, in the second half, and most of the stretch run, they were still up 7 or 9. And then all of a sudden, you know, with a minute 40 left, it's like, oh, yep, of course, it's a 2-point game. And Baylor's calling their last time out of the game. I think it was a minute 20 left. They called their last time out. And you're like, oh my gosh. And they have the 10-second call, and they have a tie up that luckily they had the possession arrow for, good, fortunate thing for Baylor that they had the possession arrow in that tie-up. I think you guys know the one I'm talking about, with like 20 seconds left, where Rob just barely has to get it over half court, and he has nothing to do. They can't call a timeout. And they do get a jump ball, which is huge because earlier in the game, the refs just didn't see who, like no ref saw who a ball went out of bounds off of. And it gave the possession arrow to Mississippi State with it was like 10 minutes into the game. But that becomes a huge thing because then Baylor has the possession arrow at the end. So some things do break their way. But honestly, I thought Baylor played pretty well in this game. They played well enough to win. Like the 42nd half points from Mississippi State does seem a little misleading because I thought Baylor played really well. Defensively, they were awesome on the offensive glass. That was the thing that Mississippi State, like a lot of people thought Mississippi State could get after Baylor through the offensive glass. They were bigger and taller than Baylor, but Baylor played tougher, man. And they pulled down 15 offensive rebounds to 7 for Mississippi State. Again, don't know what the second chance points is because that would be too much information for us to know. But that's obviously a humongous difference in the game, keeping possessions alive. The broadcast was saying it even in the first half, like Mississippi State shot a good percentage. They shot 50% for the game, but they weren't getting close in the end of that first half and most of the second half because Baylor was just getting more possessions. They had 10 more field goals than them in the game. I mean, that's a huge difference in this thing. Maybe the difference in this thing. And again, that's where Mississippi State thought they could dominate Baylor. And the other thing was they were 6th in the nation, Mississippi State was going into this game, in steals plus blocks per game. So really creating havoc. We know their defense by the metrics isn't good, but they do create havoc. That was not the case in this game. Baylor had 10 steals and 4 blocks. Mississippi State had 6 steals and 0 block shots in the game. So this team that creates havoc in the big bad SEC, steals plus blocks per game, they were at about 10 per game. Baylor outdid them 14-6 in this one and kept it under 10 turnovers for the game. Baylor did. You're going to win a lot of games doing that, even in March, even if you don't have a lot of skill. That right there, to me, I mean, the offensive rebound's a big, big plus, but that's the difference in the game. That is showing how active Baylor is defensively and how clamped down they have been the last few games. Right there, the steals and blocks. They created the havoc today. Mississippi State did not. Baylor created the havoc. They absorbed the havoc on the other end. Something that doesn't show up in the box score, even if I did have the statcast, is how many possessions they just kept alive by tipping it out. You know, that's not a rebound for Norchad Omier, but it gets the team an extra possession. Norchad was doing it. Celestine was doing it. VJ was doing it. And that's what keeps plays alive. And I know we're looking ahead here, but Mississippi State has more front court height than Duke does. Duke is more athletic, and Duke is the best team in America, I think. But Auburn is also right there. But that is not a big disadvantage for Baylor as it was in this game, and they survived it in this game. They're +6 on the rebounding department, +8 in the offensive rebounds. I don't want to go too long because I know we're getting ready for the women's game here at 2:30, but let's get involved in the comment section as the Bears score the upset. Yeah, nail biters, man. Sam Austin, sip 'em beers. No better time than right now. Friday afternoon, NCAA tournament. Start it up right now. And I know I certainly needed some at the end of that game. Scotty B, SEC overrated. I think we have to ask the question, is the SEC overrated? Big 12 beats them again. It's still the Big 12 sport. You know, of course, those scrubs at the bottom of the Big 12, Kansas, can't help us out for the Big 12 image against the SEC. Those bums. Bunch of stiffs out there at KU, bringing our whole conference down again. Anyway, this has been a pretty chalk first day plus here because, right, Robert Morris did not pull that off against Alabama, although it's close. So I need you guys telling me, this is the last possession, it looks like. I need you guys telling me in the comment section what's going on. But Baylor does score a kind of a rare upset. McNeese was the biggest upset yesterday. I picked them. not an upset to me. Randy brings up a good point here that I want to kind of dissect. We got a championship coach with two players, two starters, really, with Final Four experience. The pressure is on Duke. Correct. The pressure is on Duke no matter what. They're the number one overall seed. They are Duke. Like, let's be honest here. They're Duke and we're Baylor. Like, the pressure is on them. I do like this point. Championship coach, two players with the Final Four experience. And yet, Norchad's out here doing a bunch of dirty work. And there were flashes in the first half where I thought, okay, March, Jeremy Roach, maybe this is his time. It was not his time, man. Barely plays it all in the second half. And they showed him on the bench with like a minute left, under a minute left. And I thought, I haven't seen him out here for a couple minutes. When the season was on the line and Mississippi State could afford to gamble defensively with their fouls to give. And it was a great point by Grant Hill with like 8 minutes left. He said this, Mississippi State's only committed 2 fouls. So when this gets down to crunch time, if they're still with a couple fouls to give, they can trap relentlessly. And that's what they did. And yet with the season on the line and the game tight and Mississippi State full court pressing them and doubling the ball, it was Rob Wright out there, not Jeremy Roach. Jeremy Roach wasn't even on the floor. They didn't even use a second point guard. They kept Jaden Nunn out there. Langston Love. That is damning from what you thought you were getting from Jeremy Roach going into this season. Now, they have another game, only one more guaranteed game. But that was a real interesting sight for me towards the end of that game, that it was Rob Wright. And Rob handled it well. I mean, obviously there was a time or two. There was the one where he got trapped in the perfect trap spot. And they had the 10-second call after that ball got deflected. But I thought Rob, was nails. And I wanted the ball in his hands in the last possession with the free throws rather than VJ's because the guy's automatic from the free throw line. Bear the Truth said, Bears should have won it by double digits, but the refs did not do us any favors. What the hell was that continuation call? That non-continuation call? Are you kidding me with that? I can't believe that almost cost Baylor the game. That took a point off the board. Like, are you serious with that? In what world is he not shooting the basketball? Are you kidding? That's not even like 5 steps NBA continuation. That is college basketball continuation 11 times out of 10, and unless it's in the last 2 minutes of an NCAA tournament game. There was a good point on this very thing on this very non-call by Fran Fraschilla, who tweeted out, officials have been told late in the season not to count continuation plays. The Edgecombe play was very, very close and would have counted 98% of the time. But these officials advance in tourney based on adherence to the points of emphasis. And he said, could cost the Bears dearly. Like, are you kidding? You tell the officials at the end of the season, hey, we're not calling continuations anymore? Like, what the hell is that? Are you serious? I'm screaming expletives at the TV when this is going on. And I see that tweet. That sucks by the NCAA. That sucks for the refs, by the way, and the players and the coaches. Because it just as easily could have happened to Mississippi State, where a play that is called all year just isn't going to be called at the most important juncture of the entire season. Are you kidding me, NCAA? Just corrupt as holy hell. It could happen against Baylor in the next game again. Like, that sucks, man. That really sucks. Randy says it's about winning and moving on. Ain't that the truth, baby? Survive and advance. Like, it's true. It's true. Bear the Truth also says this. We got soft in the last 6 minutes of the game, started throwing up 3-pointers for no reason. I said this on Twitter. I don't know how many of you guys saw it. If you don't, you should follow me. But I said it. They were up, I want to say 8 or 9 with 7 minutes left. It was the under 8 timeout. And I said, just please, I was begging, please keep playing. Just keep playing the friggin' game. Because how many times have we seen it the last 2 or 3 years? Good teams, great teams, bad teams. Like, no matter how Baylor's gone the last 2-3 years, this always happens. Good teams shorten the game with about 3 minutes left, maybe 2 minutes left when they're up 8 or 10. Baylor does it when there's 7 minutes left. and they stop playing. And on the defensive side, they're taking these big risks that they're not doing all game. They're fouling 3-point shooters. And I'm like, again, just play the game. Play the game you've played the first 35 minutes. And so that gets so frustrating, man. And yeah, Patrick brings up a good comparison. It's like football playing the prevent defense. It's like if you're up 10 or 14 with 10 minutes left and you start playing prevent and you just let them score. It's like, well, now it's a 1-possession game. I've always hated that. By the way, that was always a huge Bill Belichick thing. I hate that. Scotty B, got to be on the lookout for this. No huge spoilers here. Just be on the lookout. Later today, Scotty B's going to breakdance to the song Hey Bulldog by the Beatles. Shoving it right in the Bulldog's face. Love that. And yes, I do remember in 2018 when we lost them in the NIT at home. The failed Mario Kegler revenge game. Now we get a Jeremy Roach revenge game potentially on Sunday. I mean, I have no problem saying it's going to be Duke. I don't think it's going to be Mount St. Mary's on Sunday. If it is, I'll probably actually be even more worried than Duke because they're the team that beat Duke. So, yeah. Aaron, welcome to March. I think we could all agree with this one. Aaron may need a heart monitor. I think we all do. That got way too close. Way too close, man. Like, Baylor had them right where they wanted them the whole second half. And I'm looking up and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. It's a 1-point game with plenty of time, like 80 seconds left. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Randy, I think in comparison to Rob Wright, Jeremy Roach is what he's talking about here. Rob Wright's better. Rob Wright's really good, man. Rob Wright's really good. He also says that Jonas Adu is balling out for Arkansas. He is, man. And at the end of the day, I probably like having Norchad Omier more. But I really liked Adu. And the other guy I really liked was Cliff Amori from Alabama, who's at Alabama now. He's coming from Rutgers. I'm okay with Norchad Omier. I think that's of the many issues this team has had this season, Norchad Omier is not one of them. But really liked Cliff and Jonas, man, and Jonas Adu. And the big if we get past Duke, it's wide open. That's a big if. But put it simply, if you beat Duke, you can beat anybody. You can beat anybody in this tournament if you can beat Duke. Anybody. There's still the thing that I was hoping for as Baylor was playing well in the first half. I was really hoping that we would just see like a full team box score. Like okay, maybe this is when they start being more connected. And, Jeremy Roach has 10 points and Jaden Nunn hits 3 threes and Jalen Celestine hits a couple threes. And, Norchad gets his double-double and Dubrovcic isn't a complete traffic cone. Like I was hoping for all those things. Didn't happen. You won the games the way that Baylor can win games. I just wonder if that's the way you can win in the second half or in the second round, excuse me. Average white boy gamer Langston did great for a debut and forced 14 turnovers. We can play defense. Yeah, we can play defense. Was this his first tournament game? I know he didn't play in 23. I guess he didn't play last year, did he? I guess he didn't. I don't know. Did he play last year? Someone get on that. Average white boy gamer may be right. I don't want to question average white boy gamer too much. And Randy's already got a prediction out here. Norchad goes for 23 and 17. VJ puts up 25, and the Bears win by 2 over Duke. Bear the Truth says, do you think Rob Wright's back next year? I'll tell you what I know for sure. Rob Wright's back next game, which is what we really care about. But I think yes. Now, Rob, from what I've heard, Rob really wants to do the NBA thing now and wants to go to the NBA. I don't know at 6'1" if he's going to get the draft grade that he wants. Now, if he can be an All-American next year at 6'1" with his craftiness and his finishing ability and improves the 3-point shot, then I think that would be the most beneficial thing to him personally. So I do think he's going to come back. But It's not like a slam dunk. Abe says, imagine if we had Misi. I mean, yeah, would love to. Can't, but would love to. And by the way, he was great against Duke last year. He put Filipowski in a blender. Oh, man, not to get too much into last year, but Misi like really dominated in games against Filipowski, Dickinson twice, and someone else that I'm forgetting. Someone else real good big man. Can't remember now, but certainly those 3 games, he was tremendous. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about their prospects on Sunday. Well, I know we haven't seen, like, Duke's about to tip off, or just tipped off. You know, we haven't seen them today yet, but I don't know. I was hoping for something else to break in this game for Baylor, and I can't tell you exactly what it was in order for me to be really confident or be like, they have a chance, you know, against Duke. Of course they have a chance. They roll the basketball out. And the thing with this team is a few weeks ago, I thought if they made the tournament, they could just get ousted round 1 and it wouldn't even be close. Now, what I'll say about this team is I doubt they get blown out on Sunday. You know, I doubt this is just, you know, your typical 1 versus 9, Duke runs away with it by 20 points. I wouldn't be stunned if it's a single-digit game. And it's going to be a road game. Before everyone starts bitching about it, oh, it's supposed to be a neutral site in the NCAA tournament, and it's all these Duke fans. The game is in Raleigh. Duke is a number 1 seed. This is how the game is played. In fact, it would be ironic if Baylor fans were bitching about that, because in 2010, Baylor was the 3 seed and got a home game against top-seeded Duke. And we won't talk anymore about that game, but maybe, just maybe, it comes down to a play at the end of the game where they call a blocking foul on Cooper Flagg and he fouls out of the game, and Baylor is able to take it and get the revenge that they have waited on since 2010. Like, you're going to be the road team. You're going to be a massive underdog. Like, the good news is whatever percentage of that arena is not Duke will be pulling vehemently for you, like passionately rooting for you. Lady Bears are about to tip off, so we gotta kind of wrap this up. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think about their prospects in this game on Sunday. But they got it done today. You know, the simulations had them losing by 26, and all it was a 29-point swing the other way. The Bears get it done. And Abe points out, he says, not to be too negative, but too much has to go right for us to beat Duke. And I think that's the thing that kind of keeps coming back for me. Again, I don't think it's impossible. And the way they've played the last few games, I'm certainly not as down and out on them as I would have been seeing this matchup 2-3 weeks ago. But a lot has to go right, and a lot has to go right that didn't go right today in a game that they played pretty well. That's what worries me. That's what really worries me, because as Bear the Truth puts it, this is the best version of this year's mediocrity. And I think that's what it was today. You still didn't have like the real like kill shot kind of talent in order to put this game away, which they should have done in the second half. Like, this team can't do the run TM as some of the great Baylor teams of yesteryear were able to do. Like, this team can't do an 18-3 run and just put the game to bed in the second half. They can't do that. They don't have the talent to do that. They don't have the shot making to do that. And one thing I commented on early in this game, I don't know why I think they missed their first 3 threes. But what's amazing about this team is that they're horrible from 3. Like, it's been that way the whole year. But like, coming into this year, Jaden Nunn was a good 3-point shooter. Jeremy Roach was a above average 3-point shooter. Jalen Celestine was a 40% 3-point shooter. And at one point this year, VJ was the best 3-point shooter on the team. And like, Langston Love was a good 3-point shooter. He was a 40% 3-point shooter last year before the injury. And yet they suck from 3. They cannot get hot from beyond the arc. It's incredible. They miss open threes all the time. And that's what really brings me down about this team as it pertains to like a Cinderella run, is you got to have shot makers. And Baylor doesn't really have shot makers. They have guys who can finish inside. Norchad, VJ, Rob Wright. But they don't have shot makers. And that's what bugs me about this team. But hey, a win is a win. And they're going to play the game no matter what on Sunday. And that's all that matters. Survive in advance. It's March. Anybody has a chance to do anything. So you hear that, Duke? You hear that? The Bears are coming, and they're playing their best basketball of the season, okay? And we'll even do you a favor. When we're up double digits in the second half, we'll let you think you have a chance and let you right back in it. But these Bears are different from the Bears that we saw a week and a half ago. I'll just say that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Does Baylor have a chance on Sunday against almighty Duke? Please let me know. Be sure to like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell to get notified every time we're going live, because we're going to do it after the women's game. We're going to do it after the game on Sunday. You won't want to miss a damn thing. Okay? So get your comments in there about what you saw from this game, what you think about Sunday, and what is your favorite kind of dessert. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for making it your first listen today and every day. We'll see you a little bit later on this afternoon. Okay? Thanks for making it the #1 post-game show as well. We'll see you later on Locked On Baylor.